Kim Peek was a very special man with unbelievable mental abilities. In 1988, United Artists released the film Rain Man, starring Tom Cruise and Dustin Hoffman. Directed by Barry Levinson, it won 4 Oscars, including Best Picture and Best Actor in a leading role for Hoffman. But many people aren't aware that Hoffman's portrayal of an autistic savant, who had astounding memory recall and could count spilled toothpicks at a glance, was the fictionalized version of a real Rain Man, Kim Peek. And Peek's incredible life was even more amazing than the film depicts. He was born with an extraordinary brain that lacked the cluster of nerves connecting the left and right hemispheres. Researchers suggest this abnormality allowed him to process a remarkable amount of information at once. And as he grew, this skill developed into some surprising abilities. Peek was able to read 2 pages of a book simultaneously, one with each eye. This, combined with the fact that he could read at an incredible speed, allowed him to finish most books in under an hour. He was also able to memorize huge amounts of information, so he could recall almost everything he read. Since Peek spent most of his life reading, he became somewhat of a walking encyclopedia. For instance, he could provide detailed driving directions to cities across the world based on maps he'd once glanced at. Peek was also able to make calculations that were simply hard to believe. One could give him any date in history, and he would be able to say what day of the week it had fallen on. He would often ask strangers on the street for their birth date, and then he'd tell them the day of the week it had been and any important events that took place. With these unusual skills also came serious problems. Peek's IQ shockingly hovered around 87, which is below the average of 90 to 110. He struggled with anything that involved reasoning, so mathematics were particularly challenging. He didn't learn to walk until he was almost 4 years old, and he needed assistance for basic tasks, like buttoning a shirt. Fortunately, his father Fran was very devoted to his son's well-being, and Fran spent most of his life caring for his gifted son and performing these simple tasks for him. In 1984, the Peeks met screenwriter Barry Morrow, who wanted to tell Kim's story. The result was Rain Man, and its success and popularity led to many TV appearances for Peek, as well as scientific interest. Peek underwent a series of MRIs in order to help expand knowledge of how the human brain works. His mind was truly remarkable, and of Peek, Barry Morrow once said, "I don't think anybody could spend 5 minutes with Kim and not come away with a slightly altered view of themselves, the world, and our potential as human beings." Kim Peek passed away of a heart attack in 2009. He was 58 years old.
Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more of history's weirdness that you won't find in your textbooks. All those textbooks that you had to give back. No one has their textbooks anymore, right? I don't have mine. Anyway, there's this video here, there's this one here, there's more stuff here, there's more good stuff. If you liked it, stick around.